Okay, imagine the scenario for a second. You check into a really luxurious hotel, right? Grand place overlooking the ocean in Newport, Rhode Island.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, but wait, you're wearing like a stunning green dress, gold heels, but you don't have any luggage with you.
Oh, okay, that's unusual.
Exactly. And your plan isn't some decadent vacation. Well, it's meant to be a final desperate act.
Wow, okay.
And then, just to complicate things, you accidentally crash a massive wedding happening at the hotel.
Okay, that is a setup.
Right. It's the electrifying premise of Alison Espach's The Wedding People, and people loved it. It just won a 2024 Goodreads Choice Award for readers' favorite fiction.
Yeah, it's a story that grabs you right from that really shocking first moment. And what's so fascinating, I think, is how this one story, this single narrative, can be seen through so many different lenses.
Definitely.
So today we're going to dive into how this novel manages to balance these really profound themes, depression, self-discovery, with this unexpected, almost sharp humor.
And why it gets such strong, like really diverse reactions from readers.
Exactly. We've looked at Goodreads reviews, some detailed blog posts. It gives us a really rich picture of how this book actually lands with people.
So let's start with Phoebe Stone, our protagonist. Her arrival at the Cornwall Inn, it's just unforgettable. She's in her mid-40s, steps into this grand hotel lobby wearing that vivid green dress, those gold heels. But like we said, zero bags.
Right. That image alone, it's almost like a silent scream, isn't it?
It totally is. It tells you so much about her intentions, even though the staff apparently just thinks she's another, wedding person.
Yeah, they miss the real story. And her backstory, well, it explains so much, doesn't it?
It really does.
Phoebe's reeling from a 20-year marriage that ended badly, divorce, infidelity. She's been through the ringer with painful IVF treatments, miscarriages.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, just gut-wrenching stuff. And her career as a Victorian lit professor. Stalled. She's got this unfinished Jane Eyre thesis hanging over her.
And didn't she lose her cat recently, too?
Yes. Her beloved cat died. So it's just loss upon loss. She checks into this hotel for what she calls one last decadent splurge on herself.
Before she plans to.
Yeah.
Well, enter life with pills she brought with her to this expensive ocean view room.
Yeah. And that hotel choice, the $800 a night room, what does that tell you? It feels like rock bottom, but, in gold heels.
It's such a strange paradox, isn't it? That need for luxury, even in utter despair, like a final grasp at something. Control, self-worth.
Precisely. And what's really insightful here, I think, is not just the feeling of being trapped, which is relatable, but how her own intelligence or deep knowledge of literature almost becomes its own kind of trap.
How so?
Well, she's got all these options, theoretically, so many talents she hasn't explored, but she sees herself through this cracked mirror perspective, as the book puts it. It just dulls her motivation. So demanding this luxury, even as she plans to end things, it just highlights this complex battle inside her capability versus her despair.
But okay, Phoebe's crisis isn't happening in a vacuum, right? There's this whole other drama unfolding simultaneously at the Cornwall Inn.
Oh, absolutely. Enter Leela. She's the 27-year-old bride, and she has planned every single tiny detail of her dreamy wedding, booked the entire hotel.
A whole place.
The whole place, except she didn't account for Phoebe. That's the one detail she missed. A huge curveball for someone so focused on perfection.
Wow. And Leela, she's not exactly coasting either, is she? She's got her own pile of stressors.
Oh, believe it. It's not just wedding jitters. Her father just died from cancer, and his dying wish was apparently to see her happy as a bride.
That's intense pressure.
Totally. Plus, her mom, who's this eccentric artist type, disapproves of the marriage to Gary, who's older. Then there's the sister-in-law, Marla.
The one involved in some kind of scandal?
Yep, a sex scandal. Very critical of Leela. And the teenage stepdaughter, Melanie, apparently hates her guts. And, oh yeah, the mother-in-law is insisting on a church wedding. So while Phoebe is trying to check out of life, Leela is desperately trying to script this perfect beginning.
It's such a collision of worlds.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, right? How do our own personal crises bump up against these seemingly perfect moments in other people's lives?
Yeah.
You've got Phoebe looking for an ending, literally crashing into Leela, who's micromanaging this flawless beginning. The dynamic is instantly, absurd.
Utterly absurd. Leela, this total bridezilla, keeps knocking on Phoebe's door, a complete stranger, asking for advice.
Yeah. It just shows how, even when we're at our most desperate or self-absorbed, we can suddenly become, essential to someone else's story. completely by accident.
And this is really where the story takes off, I think. You expect maybe conflict or Phoebe just shutting the door, but
Not at all. It goes in this totally unexpected direction. Leela starts confiding in Phoebe, sees her as, and this is a quote, the only honest person who can tell her the truth, including if there's a piece of food stuck in her teeth.
Huh. That's quite the benchmark for honesty with a stranger.
Right. It's incredible. And the flip side is just as surprising. Phoebe finds that getting drawn into this wedding madness, the chaos, the emotions, it actually helps her. It pulls her out of her dark space.
How does that work?
She kind of becomes this accidental confessor, like a priest who listens to anyone's confessions. She starts talking to everyone, the bride's quirky mom, the sister-in-law Marla, the groom's ex-brother-in-law Jim, even the groom Gary.
So she finds purpose in other people's wedding drama. That sounds weirdly therapeutic, maybe?
It is weirdly therapeutic. It speaks to that universal thing, doesn't it? Finding solace in distraction, maybe? Or just focusing on someone else's mess when your own feels too big.
Yeah, like you step outside yourself for a bit.
Exactly. And if you zoom out, what it really highlights is the strange, beautiful, completely accidental ways we connect with people right when we need it the most. You have Phoebe described as smart, snarky, self-reliant at her absolute lowest point. And she collides with Lila, who some readers see as this controlling, perfectionist, slightly superficial white privileged princess.
Polar opposites, almost.
Pretty much. But their unlikely kind of offbeat friendship, it becomes messy and real and actually surprisingly healing for both of them. It just shows that connection can spark in the weirdest places.
Which probably explains why The Wedding People got such rave reviews overall. People called it brilliant, heartfelt, hilarious, deeply human.
Yeah, the praise was pretty overwhelming from many corners. Readers loved how it handled heavy topics like depression and grief with grace in a delicate way, but still managed to make the whole situation feel relatable and even funny.
I saw one review where someone said the author left them speechless, a blubbering machine, repeating, "I love it, I love it, I love it."
Wow, that's strong praise. It really points to the book's emotional power. People really connected with the themes of resilience, starting over, second chances.
Belonging to, and just the human desire to endure.
Absolutely. And a big takeaway for many was that simple, powerful message about treating strangers with kindness. You never know what someone's going through or how a small interaction might ripple outwards.
And the writing itself. There are some lines that just stick with you.
Yeah.
Like, life is strange, always thinking that this one thing is going to make you happy, because then you get it. And then you're maybe not as happy as you imagined you would be, because every day is just every day.
Oof. Yeah. That hits home, doesn't it? It's such a raw truth about expectations versus reality.
And then it's all about moving on, saying goodbye to whoever you thought you would be, which feels like the core of Phoebe's journey.
It really does capture that process of letting go and redefining yourself.
And this one, too. She is so good at predicting what will happen in books, so bad at predicting what will happen in life. That is why she has always preferred books, because to be alive is so much harder.
That's incredibly poignant. It speaks volumes about escapism and the sheer difficulty of navigating real life versus fictional worlds.
Taken together, those quotes offer some real wisdom, I think, about managing expectations, embracing uncertainty.
And through all these unexpected wedding interactions, we really see Phoebe change. She becomes this disarmingly honest personality, as one source put it, someone who genuinely touches people.
She finds a sense of purpose again.
Yeah, exactly. A sense of purpose, hope for building community. She even taps into these unexpected motherly instincts, especially with Juice, Gary's daughter.
Ah, interesting.
Her whole journey just powerfully shows how interacting with the outside world, even accidentally, can spark huge internal shifts. It makes her realize, it's never too late to change your story.
Finding agency when everything seemed lost.
Precisely. Finding a new path when all the old ones seemed closed off.
Okay, but like you said, not everyone felt that way. No book pleases everybody, right? There were definitely dissenting voices.
Absolutely. While the praise was widespread, some reviewers really didn't connect with it. Terms like cliché, weak, even ignorant and disappointing popped up.
That's quite a difference from blubbering machine. I love it.
It really is. And the main sticking point for many critics seemed to be the handling of Phoebe's suicidal thoughts.
What was the issue there?
Some felt it was treated too lightly, maybe, like it was just a plot device to get the story going, rather than a deeply explored struggle.
I can see how that might feel dismissive to some.
Right. The criticism was often that Phoebe seemed to overcome this profound despair incredibly quickly, like in one day to less than a week with absolutely no struggles whatsoever, as one reviewer put it.
Okay.
Others were harsher, calling it a callous and inauthentic exploration of important and delicate themes. They just didn't buy the rapid turnaround.
And were there other criticisms beyond that specific point?
Yeah, a few other things came up. Some readers found Leela really immature, absurdly immature, or a self-centered turd were phrases used.
Ouch.
Some felt Phoebe's character development didn't go deep enough beyond her immediate crisis, that her sadness always circled back to her ex-husband. A few mentioned finding the writing style robotic at first.
And what about the emotional affair?
Right, that was another big one. Phoebe developing this connection with the groom, Gary. Some readers found that problematic, questioning the authenticity or the morality of that storyline within the context of everything else happening.
So it sounds like readers had very different expectations for how these sensitive issues and character arcs should be portrayed.
Exactly, and it forces us to ask that big question about storytelling, right? How do you show rapid change or recovery from something like deep depression in a way that feels real, but without maybe dragging the narrative down or diminishing the hope?
It's a tough balance.
It is. What one person reads as hopeful and fast-paced, another might see as unrealistic or an oversimplification. It really highlights how subjective reading is, especially when it comes to topics we feel strongly about.
Beyond the plot and themes, though, people did seem to praise the writing style itself quite a bit. Espach's wit and emotional depth came up a lot.
Yes, definitely. That blend of charming, dark humor and surprisingly deep conversations, even in the middle of wedding chaos, really resonated.
Can you give an example of that humor? How does it work?
Well, you get these lines where Phoebe is observing the absurdity of everything, maybe making a dry, witty comment, even while she's in her own dark place. Or the dialogue itself has this sharpness, this honesty that can be funny, even when the situation is serious.
It lets you laugh, even with the heavy stuff.
Right. And it seems Espach does it so well that readers felt completely immersed. Some said they kept forgetting it wasn't written in the first person because they felt so connected to Phoebe's perspective.
That's skillful writing.
It really is. It takes that intense internal conflict and makes it feel external, relatable, part of the action.
And apparently the audiobook is great, too. Helen Laser's narration got high marks.
Yeah, people said she brought the humor and all the personalities to life so well. So if you're an audiobook listener, that seems like a really good way to experience it, maybe enhancing that wit and character connection even more.
Makes those funny moments even funnier, probably.
Probably so. Ultimately, what Espach achieves through her writing is showing how this immense internal struggle, instead of isolating Phoebe, becomes the very thing that sparks these unexpected connections. It transforms her and the people around her.
So wrapping things up, The Wedding People really does seem to offer this unique mix. You've got humor, you've got genuine heart, but also these incredibly heavy, serious themes.
Definitely. It's a book that clearly hit home for a lot of readers, creating that strong connection, even if some aspects sparked debate or didn't land for everyone.
It speaks to that resilience, that possibility of finding connection, even at rock bottom.
And that idea of connection brings us back to another really profound quote from the book, I think. There is no such thing as a happy place, because when you are happy, everywhere is a happy place. And when you are sad, everywhere is a sad place.
That's powerful.
It really is. It's not just clever phrasing. It suggests that real lasting change often starts from within, right? But it can be catalyzed by these outside connections, sometimes purely by chance.
Our environment reflects our internal state.
Exactly. And changing that internal state often means opening ourselves up, maybe unexpectedly, to other people, to interactions we didn't plan for.
So for you listening, what does all this mean? Maybe think about this. How do you spot those people, those moments that might unexpectedly shift your own path, especially when you feel stuck or like you've hit rock bottom?
Yeah, what does it really take to do what the book suggests, to say goodbye to whoever you thought you would be? How do you embrace that unpredictable nature of life and stay open to new possibilities, new connections, even when things feel incredibly bleak?
Definitely something to think about. Until our next deep dive.